Berlin, July 9, 2006. In the heart of Germany, history waited to be written. For Italy, the 2006 World Cup was more than sport. It was redemption in the face of disgrace. Back home, a scandal rocked the foundations of Italian football. The Calciopoli investigation exposed deep-rooted corruption. Club legends faced bans. Entire teams risked relegation. But in that chaos, the Azzurri found unity. For France, this was the last dance of a generation. Zinedine Zidane, the quiet magician, had come out of retirement to lead his nation one final time. What began as a fading farewell turned into a heroic resurgence. One by one, he dismantled giants. Spain, Brazil, Portugal, with effortless grace and ageless brilliance. The final whistle had yet to blow, but the world was already holding its breath. In Berlin's Olympiastadion, a fortress of echoes and noise, two of football's greatest powers prepared for a collision that would go far beyond sport. Both teams arrived in Berlin battle-scarred but unbroken. Two proud nations, one golden trophy. 90 minutes wouldn't be enough. A lightning-fast break. Malouda dribbled into the box, weaving between Italian defenders like a blade slicing through silk. Marco Materazzi lunged in, and Malouda fell. The match exploded into life in the 7th minute. A foul in the box. Zidane stepped up, shoulders calm. He looked Gianluigi Buffon in the eye and chipped it. A Panenka penalty, kissed by the crossbar and over the line. The audacity of it stunned the world. In the biggest moment with everything at stake, Zidane chose poetry over power. It was confidence. It was arrogance. It was genius. But Italy struck back. In the 19th minute, Marco Materazzi soared above the French defense, slamming in a header that reminded everyone, this wasn't just Zidane's stage. The rest of the match was a brutal ballet, collisions, close chances, and nerves stretched thin. Buffon and Barthez traded saves. Cannavaro and Thuram stood like stone walls. The French were flowing. Ribéry was electric. Vieira roamed like a general. Italy looked momentarily rattled, but only for a moment. 19th minute. Pirlo, cool as ever, whipped in a perfect corner. And there was Materazzi, the villain-turned hero, leaping above Vieira and Thuram. His header was a thunderclap. Goal. 1-1, just like that. Italy were back. Berlin shook. The tempo quickened. Totti orchestrated attacks. Toni struck the crossbar. Buffon made fingertip saves. Zidane floated between lines, threading passes with the weight of a nation on his shoulders. Every pass felt like a heartbeat. Every shot, a bullet dodged. The second half was a siege. France pressed. Henry darted through defenders. Ribéry danced at the edge of the box. Vieira was everywhere, until he wasn't. Injured, off. The French midfield wobbled. Italy responded. Toni thought he scored, ruled offside. Zambrotta nearly shattered the post with a screamer. Every tackle was war, every inch earned. Still the score held, 1-1. Into extra time they went, tired legs, tight nerves, and fates hanging by a thread. 110th minute. Zidane found one last moment of brilliance, a towering header from Sagnol's cross. Buffon flew, stretching to parry it over the bar, a save of mythic proportions. Then, silence fell. Off the ball, away from the cameras, something happened. Materazzi and Zidane had exchanged words, and suddenly, Zidane turned. Calm, deliberate, almost surreal, he walked toward Materazzi and drove his head into his chest. Materazzi crumpled. The world gasped. Referee Horacio Elizondo consulted his assistant. Then, the red card was raised. Zidane, sent off, in his final match. The king had abdicated, not with a bow, but with a blow. The man who had given France hope had vanished into the tunnel. And so it came to this. Penalties. The ghosts of past finals danced behind every kick. Pirlo, ice in his veins. 1-0 Italy. Wiltord, cool and calm. 1-1. Materazzi, from villain to sniper. 2-1. Trezeguet. Boom! Off the bar. Out. The crossbar that had helped Zidane now turned on Trezeguet. De Rossi, Del Piero, perfect. Abidal, Sagnol, steady. But France were behind. Then came Fabio Grosso, the man of Italy's destiny. One step, a breath. He struck. Goal. Italy are world champions. Italy collapsed in a sea of blue and gold, champions for the 4th time. Cannavaro hoisted the trophy, the perfect captain's ending to a flawless tournament. France stood motionless. Zidane, far from the pitch, alone in the tunnel, watched in silence. No medal ceremony, no farewell lap. His final memory was red. Italy lifted the World Cup for the fourth time, joining Brazil and Germany among the elite. But the win was bittersweet. The glory was real, but so was the pain waiting at home. In the days after, Juventus would be relegated. Titles would be stripped. Legends would fall. For France, the scars ran deeper. They had come so close. Zidane had soared and collapsed in the same night. The final chapter of his career was written not with his feet, but with his head. The headlines the next day were divided. Italy redeemed, Zidane's fall from grace, the final that changed everything. But time has softened the divide. Zidane's headbutt became an icon, not of disgrace but of humanity, a reminder that the greatest heroes are still flesh and blood. His legacy undiminished. Time has not dulled the sting nor the beauty of the 2006 final. It was not just a match, it was a clash of cultures, characters, and consequences. It reminded us that football is not just about goals, but about emotion, about what we hide and what we reveal under pressure, about how close triumph and tragedy truly are. And the match itself, it became a legend, a battle of brilliance and brutality, of art and rage, of destiny and downfall. Zidane walked off in silence. Italy walked off as champions, but both left behind a moment that would echo for decades. This wasn't just a final. This was legend born from chaos. The 2006 World Cup final wasn't just a game. It was a Shakespearean drama written in boots and sweat. With a crown at stake, heroes rose, some fell, others were reborn. And on that night in Berlin, football reminded us of its most powerful truth. It's not just about who wins. It's about how deeply the game touches the soul. This was the untold story of the 2006 World Cup final.